All right. Welcome to episode 2 of This Week Inside the New York Knicks podcast, man. The off-season edition. We are officially in the second week of the off-season, man. Round of applause to you. You're now in the building, rocking with the most popping Knicks YouTube channel on the net. I am the objective fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes, man. Man, definitely. Thanks for checking me out early. Well, a little later than our 2 o'clock start, but we rock out each and every Monday, 2 o'clock. This week inside the New York Knicks, breaking down each week. So this podcast is dedicated to documenting the Knicks. 365. You give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. Well, recently we've been doing a lot of live shows, and they've been kind of lit, so we've been staying a little overtime. This show, I'm going to try to condense it, hopefully. But, the people start coming in the building late. You know how they say about certain people. We always coming into the building late. So, and that seems to be the type of crowd we got on this channel. So, I can't help it if we get into a spirited debate. I'm assuming that Coach is going to come in here. We're going to talk about Karl-Anthony Towns. Actually, this time I actually do have an article talking about him. But I know Coach always brings him up. But salute to you if you in the building early, y'all. What a time to be a Knicks fan. Some of us still reeling from the playoff loss. Honestly, and our flagship topic is Jalen Brunson. Him talking about there is no excuse. I'm going to let you guys know off rip. Sorry, Jalen. I love you, but I disagree. I think that the injuries definitely played a big, major role into us not at least advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll definitely get into that. Some more topics. We'll talk about Josh Hart's comments about the NBA Finals in regards to Jason Tatum being the X factor. We'll also talk about Coach Tibbs' extension. There's actually been a number this time. Last time we said a lot of Knicks fans felt like he deserves an extension, so we'll get more into that as well. Of course, trade rumors. It's the off season, so we'll continually have different rumors, different things that we have to unpack, right? And then I already told you about Jalen Brunson not using injuries as excuse. Then we also be talking about Julius Randle. For some reason, a lot of people find him to be the guy that's going to be the odd man out. So a lot of topics and more, and of course, word on the street for sure. But I'm going to give an early salute to D. Do-it-yourself creative box in the chat, man. Salute to you. Hopefully we can get you a banner so you can sponsor one of these episodes. But definitely salute to everyone that's in the building. How we do this, being that this is the live podcast, I will respond to your commentary in the chat as we go along, as I unpack this stuff. There's a lot to unpack. Typically, when I pre-record the show, I hit a lot of topics because, of course, there's no chat. But I love chatting with you guys because you guys make the show. And feel free to add any breaking news. Last week we gave a RIP mid-show due to Bill Walton. He passed away. So definitely any news that pops up, any crazy things that happen. Though right now we're still in the NBA Finals, so nothing's gonna start happening until that's over. But without further ado, I think I'll jump into research mode, man. So in this pod. This is your first time here. We always put everything on the screen so we can actually see it together, read it together. No cap, straight facts. So the Rangers. Also before I get into the Rangers, I do want to give a salute to the New York Liberty. I haven't actually kept up with them this week, but I do want to. I said I will be covering them a little bit on the pod. I know they are in the Barclays Center. They're no longer in the Garden, but they're still the New York Liberty. So I'm still riding with them. I do want to pull up just to give a little quick rundown on what's going on with them because, I know the Yankees are putting in work, right? Haven't got a chance to watch much baseball, but I think that the Liberty probably still remain to be the team that gives us the best opportunity to win a championship, as you can see. So last week on the episode, we covered that they lost their first 2 games, but then ever since then they won their last 3 games. So salute to the New York Liberty for doing their thing. Round of applause to them. Battling the Sun for the top spot, right? Now that the Connecticut Sun, I'm telling you right now, they are tough. They are tough. But we'll get more into the Liberty as the summer goes along. I just wanted to give them a little New York shout out. Salute, Coach. Coach, man, listen, man. Real life happens, man. I'm a family man. I'm a businessman. I got a lot of other things going on. But I didn't want to skip the pod. I wanted to drop the pod, but salute the coach, man. He's definitely one of the guys in the Discord. Be sure to check the link in the description or the link that's, I don't got it on the screen, but basically it's theobjectiveknicksfan.com. I also have it pinned in the comment section. Click it so you could join the Discord. We'll get you up in there. Right now, me, Coach, and Sam has been holding it down. I got like 4 people who are actually like in limbo. They fill out the form, and I'm trying to get them in the group, but there hasn't been great email correspondence. If you do have any issues, you could always email me at info@theobjectiveknicksfan.com. All my contact information is usually in the comments of every video. So definitely, definitely, Coach. Definitely, it definitely will be on the replay. So the Rangers lost. And salute to the Rangers for holding it down, right? A lot of people were telling me I'm not into hockey much, but I'm a New York guy, so I rock with anybody by default. That's rocking with the town. So, it's been over 30 years, right, since we won the championship. Since they won the championship, and we haven't won a chip since when's the last time we won the chip in New York, y'all? It's been a minute. I think the Yankees or the Giants are the last teams to win a championship in New York, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it's definitely been a minute since we won a title. But I want to salute to the Rangers because they were actually holding it down. Hey, it's hard to win a championship. But I do want to say that I think that our championship drought will be coming to a close very soon. Remember, in Leon Rose we trust. And this offseason, I expect us to do either keep it the same, bring everyone back, and maybe add one more additional piece, or actually make a big splash and go make a trade. So, for sure, definitely. I just want to give a quick salute to the Rangers. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about Josh Hart a little bit. Josh Hart kind of got on the Pacers for getting swept on the Roommates podcast. First of all, salute to the Roommates podcast. I'm not sure how many of you guys watch the Roommates podcast. It's a podcast with Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and then his good friend. I can't remember the guy's name. I always feel bad I don't remember this guy's name, but they do a really good job. Honestly, they actually have grown. And I like when they do the podcast, even when they don't have guests. I feel like a lot of times when they have the guest on, it kind of takes away from, because, all right, as a Knicks fan, we want to hear about the Knicks stuff, right? I like when they give, like, extra details as to how they felt going into a game. Like, that's what the last pod was kind of about. They kind of got more into, their experience on the floor. And I just like that. So, of course, the Pacers got swept. We talked about that the last pod. And honestly, listen. I have a question. I'm not sure if I did a poll on this, but I think I might. Do you honestly believe that we would have actually at least won 1 or 2? I mean, if Brunson is not there, I don't know. I think we might get swept too. But if we had Brunson against the Celtics, how do you think we would have did? Everybody else still hurt. No OG, no Randall. It's just Brunson there. Let's say we got the Game 7 win. Brunson never went down with the injury. How do you think we would have did? I definitely could see us winning a game. I felt like the Pacers, if they were just going to roll over, they could have just let us rock. That's just how I honestly feel. How y'all feel about that in the chat? Please let me know. And I'll be rolling along. But yeah, Josh Hart. Let me see what he says here. I'm like, damn, y'all couldn't get one win because he and Brunson were on the phone with Tyrese Halliburton, and they were talking about the playoffs or whatever. And he said, y'all beat us Game 7, whatever. Y'all mad hype. Y'all couldn't get one win after 3 leads in the 4th. That's crazy. Obviously, if we moved on, Jalen Brunson wouldn't have been playing, which would have been a problem, right? I would have tried to play. I don't know how it would have been, but damn, we could have did that. At least get one. Facts. Hold on. So you saying, Zach, if Brunson was there, we would have won the series? Whoa, that's bold. The only problem that we had is with Brunson, right? Not having OG would have still been a big problem because now we're undersized at that 3-4 spot. And the times, I'm not sure if you guys remember the games against Boston early this year before the OG trade, when we had RJ, we really struggled defending Tatum and Brown without an OG like big. Hart is, he's a great defender, great energy guy, great effort. But I just think that Tatum would have been too much for him to handle. Especially Tatum and Brown were balling that round. They both pretty much averaged 30 a game. It would have been really tough. I think we would have got one game for sure, maybe even two. But to say that we would have beat the Celtics, I mean, it depends on how the pick and roll would have went with Horford because he's the weak link. That's what's going to hurt them in the finals against the Mavs. I don't know if we would have won the series, though. I'm with you, though, Zach. I'm with you. I mean, anything's possible because I know for one thing for certain, they wouldn't have been able to stop Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like Brunson would have been on one. The only way you stop Brunson is if he gets hurt. Let's just keep that real. So I'm with you, Zach, but I feel like it's a bit of a stretch. I want to center my camera just a little bit, guys. Little technical difficulties, but I'm with you, Zach. I feel like it's a possibility. I know one thing: we would have definitely not have been swept, and we would have did better than Indiana. That's just what it is. So if you guys have any more comments on that, we could always chat. I always read the comments, even if I have to get back to it. So I'm gonna move on to the next article, right? We're talking about Tom Thibodeau, right? And his contract extension, right? And look at the market rate, because there's a market rate. And honestly, I don't think that this is about money as much as it is just getting the deal done. Like I don't feel like Coach Tibbs is tripping off for the bag. I feel like he's more concerned about the security. And if you can get him in at a 5-year deal, I think he'll be good for it. But let's see what they're talking about here, right? So according to Mark Stein, right, he could get the extension at the market rate. So league sources say that Coach Tom Thibodeau should be viewed as a virtual certainty to score a contract extension this offseason at the market rate. Now, I also want to comment here, too, that the guy from the Kings, LeBron's coach, I can't remember his name. Help me out in the chat. The coach from the Kings, he just got his extension. And I believe it was a 3-year, $10 million deal. So Coach Tibbs should get that or more. Honestly, I would like to give him the 4 or 5 year. So that way, it's just, you ain't got to worry about this for a while. And I don't see the Knicks like completely going in the wrong direction. And I'm going to say this too, before I continue reading this. We can't make the same mistakes we made in the 90s. We had Pat Riley for a good 4 or 5 seasons. And it's not the Knicks' fault, technically. It really was Riley. Riley wanted to become part owner. Basically the same deal he has in Miami. So at the time, it was Grunfeld and it was Checkets, right? So they were telling him that, look, we're gonna pitch it to the owners, but this is a corporation. Like, this is not just a mom and pop shop. This is not just one family owning the team, right? It was Cablevision. It was, I think IT Communications sold it, right? It was a conglomerate. It was another network, right? That before Dolan and them became the full owners, right? Well, their company, which was Cablevision, there was another company that had more ownership right at the time. So it was a lot of technicalities. There was a board. It just would, the logistics wouldn't have worked. So I'm not saying the Knicks made a mistake, right? That's not what I'm saying, because they didn't. You can't control what another man wants or what another man wants to do, right? So Pat Riley went elsewhere where he could get the ownership, and you see where the Miami Heat is today. I honestly believe if we can somehow could have convinced Riley to stay, that would be us, right? I'm not saying Tom Thibodeau was on Pat Riley's level. What I am saying is that Coach Thibodeau is the best coach we have had in years. I say even before Mike Wilson, salute to Mike Wilson, right? He held it down, right? But I think that Coach Tibbs, to me, has more longevity than Mike Wilson. Now, Mike Wilson, that was another thing when they changed over to Phil Jackson. We sort of talked about that before, too. Then, he wanted to bring in his own guy, triangle offense, retarded stuff. And either way, the bottom line is when you go back, right, and you go back, the last time we had a coach that was worth any salt was Jeff Van Gundy. And Jeff Van Gundy took over for Pat Riley. So what I'm saying is I felt what hurt us in the 90s was we didn't have that long-term coach beyond the 4 or 5 years. I think that for us to continue in our progression, we need to sign Tibbs for the long term. There is no let's wait till next season to see how we do, because let's say, okay, next season comes, we get bumped in the first round. Now, because he doesn't have the deal, you don't extend his contract. So now you bring in another coach. Now you got to start over. That's what's happening in Milwaukee. You can't continue to make these changes when you're trying to have consistency and compete at the highest level. Bringing back Coach Tibbs gives us the best chance for that. What do you think? What do you think, Zach? Let's see what Zach talking about. Zach says Josh Hart. Josh Hart got heart, and he's a dog. I love him. He's the best. Salute to Josh Hart. Josh Hart definitely is the best. And honestly, I see him being on TV. If the podcast doesn't blow up, where it's like it becomes its own like network, right? I see Josh Hart honestly getting a job on TV. Maybe he even has the podcast, right? They grow the Roommates podcast to another level. And then now Josh Hart, he also works for ESPN or one of these networks, NBC, because NBC is looking like they're going to be the ones to take over from where TNT left off. So yeah, Josh Hart, salute to Josh Hart. But so getting back to Coach Tibbs, right? All right, so after New York run to the run to the brink of the Eastern Conference Finals with one of the league's longest injury lists in the postseason. Can't forget about that. You can't forget about that. So let's see. I thought they had they don't got it here. That's fine. So that's the market rate, guys. $10 million. That's nothing. Dolan, that we ain't hurting for any money over here. Trust me, right? New York is fine, right? When it comes to finances, and they can. I mean, look at all the money they spent on Phil Jackson and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. So, yeah, they can give, $10 million. Even if you don't give them the 5-year, I say give them for 5. So that way, at least for the next foreseeable future, you have that consistency in the coach. You could always let the coach go if the team goes in the wrong direction. What I'm saying is you don't want to disrupt the train by not taking care of business. And then for whatever reason, right, not just only, like I said earlier, the Knicks don't do well, and now Tibbs, you have to let him go, right? And now you have to start over. But even if you don't give him the deal now, let's say the Knicks win 60 games. What's to say the Lakers don't come to Coach Tibbs, or another team doesn't come to Coach Tibbs and say, hey, we want to give you, not only will we give you the $10 million, $12 million, we're also going to give you a stake in ownership. We're also going to let you run the show in the front office, because he's not going to run the show in the front office, even though Tibbs and Leon Rose are tied together, right? A lot of the moves you see, there's a couple of moves that I know Tibbs probably didn't sign off on, but at the same time, they kind of work together. So, but another team like, I don't know, Detroit can say, hey, Tibbs, come here. We're also going to give you stock in the front office because, let me tell you something, that's what got him to Minnesota. They gave him the front office. Let's see what Zach talking about. Okay, guys, definitely hit the, if you just came into the stream, this is This Week Inside the New York Knicks, episode 2, off-season edition, 2024. We got a range of topics we're talking about. And if you're here to hear about the Jalen Brunson no injury excuse, we're going to get to that. We didn't get to that yet. Just moving along. Little lighthearted stuff here. So I want to give a salute to Julius Randle, right? Doing his job, right? Trying to show everyone off the court he does what he has to do. He was at the Empire State Building lighting ceremony, and it was for the Memorial Sloan Cancer Catering Cancer Center, right? Basically cancer treatment and research institution. So he was there giving them their support, and he actually, let me see if I could play the footage for a little bit. So this is him actually turning on the lights or changing the lights at the Empire State Building. So salute to Julius Randle doing his bid as, Gotham City's hero, right? And showing his, his philanthropy, his charitable side. Now, good news. I'm not sure if we talked about this last week. I don't think so because it's the 27th. But Julius Randle, his shoulder is healing up well. So that's good news. Hopefully, he can get a month before training camp to work, because he didn't get that last summer, and that's what kind of led to that slow start. If he can honestly get the time to work out the way he needs to, he's going to continue balling. Now, I know a lot of you guys are talking about, well, we're probably going to trade him. I don't know, but I do got some articles talking about that. And, Coach, I hope you're here. I'm getting to your segment, Coach. I have a segment just for you in a second. Let's see, any quotables here. So he spent 2.5, okay, this is Randle talking. I spent 2.5 months rehabbing before. So when I came out of shoulder surgery, I was recovering pretty fast. All my muscles around my shoulder are strong, which is good. And so I've been healing up great. Been taking my time, not in a rush, but I like where I'm at for sure. So salute to Julius Randle. Surgery going well. Now I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I do research. I did multiple injury videos on the channel. OG Anunoby, twice, right? Talked about Randle in the past. Now I watched a YouTube video from a good channel from this MD. So I can't remember his name, but he breaks down injuries, and he was breaking down why Randle did the right thing, because there's an area in your shoulder that is to protect. Because, all right, so his shoulder healed okay. When he first came back and he was working out, his shoulder healed okay. But what he had to repair was the part that gives that extra support to your shoulder. That was the part he had to heal. I'm sorry, I don't know the name right now. I'm just telling you what I remember from what the doctor was explaining. So when he went and gets the surgery to heal this part, now he can come back fully strong, and basically the shoulder will be back to the way it was. So to all the people that say that Randle is damaged goods, no, he's not damaged goods. He could have came back and played, but it was a great risk for him to re-dislocate the shoulder again, and you don't want to go through that, right? So good thing for that. So I'm gonna move on. At a good pace. Let's look at the time. Okay, we had a good time. Now here's the question that everybody's concerned about, right? Should stay or go? Should the Knicks bring back Julius Randle? Okay. Now I'm on the train of saying yes. Not because I'm a Julius Randle fanboy. I do rock with Julius Randle. I think he's a great player. I think he's the best option for us right now. A lot of you guys, besides Coach, don't have a trade target for Randle. And even if you did, it more than likely is not an all-NBA guy that's actually available, because we're going to get into some names in a second, right? Or it's going to be for a guy that's not on his level. And to me, that's hustling backwards. In New York City, we don't hustle backwards. We only push forward, especially in Leon Rose we trust. So you already know he has a game plan to get someone better. So there's a lot of grumblings and rumors that Leon Rose promised Dolan a superstar. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's say it is true. An argument could be made. I already got you the superstar. His name is Jalen Brunson. I'm just saying. But also, if it's to get another star player, I think the Knicks have enough to get another star without trading Randall. But I do prefer to trade Randall if I can get an All-NBA first teamer. I don't want to trade Randall. Listen to what I said. Instead of, decimating the roster by trading a whole bunch of your key rotational guys, I say give up Randall, maybe a Randall and a Bojan, because a lot of these guys are making. We went over the salaries on last week's episode. Definitely check that one out. We did a great job of showing you salary cap and salaries really making sense to free agency, because a lot of people talking about free agency, but they don't understand salary cap. They just saying make a move to make a move. It's a lot of politics and technicalities from a economical standpoint that prevent you from making certain moves, right? That's why certain teams are rumored to come off players, right? Like coaches Towns, right? Let me see what coach is talking about. Let's see. Mitch came back early. Oh, yeah, coach. Yeah, he definitely came back early. And honestly, coach, that stress fracture for an athlete and for his age, it shouldn't have been that bad, bro. Like what Mitch had to go through for his stress fracture was on the most extreme side of stress fractures. I'm not sure if we did I might have did a pod on that. But I talked about how, typically for stress fractures, you don't have surgery. And the recovery time is not as long as Mitch takes. But you know what? I'm not here to get on nobody. Mitch's body is his body. He's also a 7-footer. Coach, I do think you're right. I think that he should have probably not have come back for the season. That's why I was kind of upset with the NBA that they didn't give us the hardship exemption for Mitch not coming back, because we honestly could have got another player if had the NBA done that. But the NBA looked at it and they said, oh, Mitch could come back. But you don't want guys coming back right before the playoffs, right? That's why I like what Boston's doing, though I do think it's going to come back to backfire. Don't bring KP back too early. But honestly, they shouldn't even bring him back. I don't think that you can come off injury, missing the entire playoffs, and then, boom, coming right into the finals and think you're going to make an impact. I just don't really see that happening. So let's see. Julius Randle. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Sam. You want me to put? Oh, okay. I can't play the YouTube video. But Sam, is that by that doctor? What's his name? Is it Brian something, MD? Let me see if I can pull it up off the screen. Hold on. I can't play it on the screen, but I do. Wait, hold on. Pause it. Let me see if
you can feel it.
Yeah, this is my guy. This guy right here is official.
And with the
he broke it down. I watched this video here. Go check him out. He's really good. Brian Sutterer, MD. He breaks down all the injuries. I watch him all the time. All the time. Let me get up out of there. But yeah, that's the guy, Sam. Brian, yep. That's the dude. Definitely check him out. He explained everything. He explains the shoulder part that I was telling you about. There's a part that protects his shoulder. So his shoulder healed. When he healed, it healed. It's just that part. In order to repair that part, he had to get the surgery. And if he gets the surgery, he will be out for the season. So salute to Julius Randle. Like I always say, people, to the people who don't like Randle and don't give him his props, the man tries to be there for the team. Because if he was like me, not to say I'm a selfish guy, but I'm kind of into health and fitness and stuff like that. So if I have an injury, I'm going to take the longest possible time because I'm concerned about my health. When you rush back like Mitch, right? These things can happen where you re-injure it, he strained it again. So, and then he had to get another surgery. So you don't want to get too many surgeries, especially if you're a 7-footer. I'm 6'2". I could imagine what a 7-footer goes through with knees, foot, back problems. I mean, that's rough. That's tough. Yeah, Brian, yeah, but salute to Sam on that. Sam, you on point. Let me see if there's anything with this article. Let's see. SNY, Julius Randle could be part of a trade, given his contract size. You know what's funny about this contract size talk, y'all? Right? I remember 2 years ago. So I remember the year where Randle we didn't make the playoffs. He was like 20-10, but he didn't really shoot well, and we didn't make the playoffs. And everybody was like, oh, trade Randle, get rid of Randle, right? I remember a lot of articles talking about when he signed that contract. It was a 4-year, one and change, right? When he signed that contract, and then he had that year, a lot of executives, or there's rumors that executives were saying that that was a bad contract. It's so funny how 2 years further along into the contract, now it says Julius Randle could be very well a part of that trade, given to his contract size and all-star talent. It's funny what 2 years can do. They were saying the contract was bad. Now his contract is good because I'm going to get to Coach in a second. We're going to get to this next article, Coach. I got it for you up here talking about Towns. Let me see. Let's double check. Where is it at? The heavy article. I got Bleacher Report. I'm going to jump into it now. Now that I got Coach here. In the meantime, between time, definitely hit that like button so more Knicks fans can check out the channel. I'm not sure what happened to my heavy article. That's weird. I'm going to pull it up. Guys. 2 seconds. Because I know Coach wants to talk about this trade proposal. I'm going to give you a hint, Coach. Call Anthony Towns. So someone else in the world, of course, that's not a shocker because every single year Towns is included in trade talks. Let's see. I don't know why I don't see the heavy article. That's weird. But I completely disagree with the article or the claim. I know Coach is gonna fight me on it. Then we just gonna have to fight, man. Of course, respectfully, intellectually. Did I lose the article? Am I seeing? Oh wait, hold on. No, it's showing me I got it here, but I got it here. Me just copy and paste it. Being now we talk about Julius Randle. 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. I always say he's the most economical All-NBA, right? All-Star. But that's, right now technically it's Brunson. So look. So heavy.com, they proposed a blockbuster deal, right? That has Randle in the center for it to land guess what? A $221 million star. Now last week, Coach and Sam and I, right? We went through a nice. Well, no, it wasn't Sam. I don't think Sam was there last week. It was I forgot the guy's name. He became an admin. I think it was AD. AD was there last week, and we had a really nice chat. So what happened was, we were talking about money and numbers. Now, Coach, I know you read it, Coach. I know you read that. I know, Coach. I know. This is your guy. I know. So I wanted to talk about this because I knew you was going to be here, right? So look. So how badly do the Knicks want to upgrade on Julius Randle, right? I don't know how bad we want the upgrade. I think that we'll take the upgrade if an upgrade is. The problem is there aren't too many upgrades available. I mean, how do you upgrade a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, on a friendly contract, on a cap-friendly contract? How do you upgrade that unless you're getting a first team or second teamer? Which Karl-Anthony Towns is, he's neither one of those, right? So there's a pretty easy scenario here where Minnesota swaps Towns for Randle and Bojan Bogdanovic, along with some draft capital and the idea that it can pay, that it can just pay for a $30 million power forward instead of a $50 million big. So think about it, Coach. This is for you. Why would I want to help the Minnesota Timberwolves because they're in a small market and they can't afford to sign and keep their stars? Why? Why do I got to help them, Coach? Please tell me that. Oh, salute to you, Sam. Yo, Sam, it's okay because I think that was the holiday, right, Sam? That might have been the holiday last week. And I had the free crib last week, so we was having a lot of fun. That was like a really long show. We didn't want it to end. It was a lot of people in the building. Yeah, that was just, it's all good, Sam. I know you always here. You get better spacing. No, but no, Coach. I understand what you're gonna tell me. I know we had this conversation every week, right? But my thing for you is, why do we have to help their cap situation? And in my opinion, they're getting a better player than Towns because, and maybe not defensively, they might lose a little bit because Randall's not the best defensive player. But to me, on offense, Randall's not going to just stand behind the three-point line. He's going to take you to the basket. He's going to put you in the basket. Karl Anthony Towns is a 7-footer. We talked about this in the Discord, by the way. I have a link in the comment section where you can sign up for the Discord, right? If you have any trouble, you can email me at info@theobjectiveknicksfan.com and I'll get you in there. But we had this discussion on Discord too, where we talked about Towns and how during the what game was that? That was maybe the last game of the playoffs, right? It's like this guy is scared to post up, bro. Like PJ Washington, and we pulled this up on the podcast too. The man is 6'7". He's 6'7". Towns is 6'11", 7 foot. Why can't you post this man up? What do you think Julius Randle would have done to PJ Washington? Seriously. I watched Julius Randle outplay Giannis. Giannis, the Greek freak. Put him in the basket. You think that Randall's going to stand behind the three-point line? All timid on the drives? Dude, you're 6'11". Let me see what the coach is talking about. Same reason we helped Toronto. No, Coach. We're going to disagree here. Coach is my man. Me and Coach, we disagree only on Towns and this Randall and Towns. Everything else, me and Coach, we on the money. He's in the Discord, right? You see, he's a mod. So we allowed to, we do this, right? We did not help out Toronto. Honestly, that Toronto trade was a win-win. Now, Toronto needs to, one, secure Emmanuel quickly. He wants over $100 million. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. I just need to see Toronto shell out money because they got rid of two guys who definitely wanted way more than $100 million, and they couldn't do it. So let's see if they secure quickly, or if they have to trade them, or if they have to make another move. It seems like these teams are not willing to spend money. But however, and I was going to get to it in a second, but Coach, since you want me to bring it out, I'm going to bring it out. Our record with OG Anunoby this season, right, is 20-3 in the regular season and 6-3 in the playoffs. Remember I said that. Also, the entire regular season, our record was 30-29 without OG Anunoby, right? When we traded RJ and quickly, I believe we were just like maybe a game or two above 500. Hold on, I got it right here. See, I keep. See, I'm a real Knicks fan right here, and I'm tracking the playoffs, right? So when we traded for OG, right, that was January 1st, the new year. Our record was 17-14. How do you say that we actually did Toronto a favor? It was a win-win for both teams. We didn't do Toronto a favor. We didn't do the trade, right, to help their cap situation, though it did help their cap situation. We did the trade because we actually got better. I don't see Towns making us a better player, especially when we need him to be aggressive and put the ball in the basket, and he's acting like he's scared. I don't understand it. Let's see where we at, Coach. Let's see. Sam says, word, salute to Sam. Randall's actually perfect for them. I know Randall's perfect for them. Randall's perfect for us. Most of these deals are talking about is the use of a lot of picks. Okay. Cat's coming off an MCL tear, rough on the knee. But coach, look. You just answered the question. You said the man is rough on the knees. You don't need a 7-footer that's rough on the knees, man. I'm out with it. I think that Minnesota, Denver, who else? Maybe OKC. All of these teams that are really good in a small market and are not known for spending the money like that, don't come to the Knicks to help you. We're not here to help you. I'm not trying to help Minnesota. What do you guys? I know. Let's see. Same here's a win-win. Tom will get it right just like he did before. Well, I mean, to be honest, Coach, he could do that with Randall too. You know, like seriously, like he could. Coach, if Towns made the same money as Randall and wasn't scared to take it to the basket, I'd do the trade because I would say because then my rationale would be Towns is a better defender than Randall, but because he plays like a big shooting guard, I don't need that. I need somebody like Randall. Randall is really all we're missing. I'm gonna keep it real. I know some of you guys love Randall. You don't want to hear that, but to me, because Randall gives you so much balance from a standpoint, and I know y'all gonna get on me because the lefty stuff, people talking about the two lefties. The thing about it is, Randall, so 2023 season, he forced up a lot of threes. He was playing like Karl-Anthony Towns. This year, even though his percentage wasn't that good, he wasn't taking that many threes. He was more so focusing on attacking the basket. Because that's honestly, for me, what I'm watching in this NBA, and Walt Clyde talks about this a lot, the mid-range is a lost art. And Towns, he has the Michael Porter Jr. effect. We're 5 inches taller than these guys, but we want to shoot threes. And I just don't think that that's the direction we need to go, Coach. Let's see. But okay, Coach. Let's talk about Joel Embiid, Coach, because he says that. But if it was Joel Embiid, I'd be cool. Let me tell you why, Coach. If you honestly, we're Knicks fans, so of course Philadelphia is the ops, and they're probably going to be a real rival going forward, especially if they're able to rebuild that team the way Daryl Morey wants to. Right? He's the GM for the Sixers. So when Towns came back from the meniscus, I was like, no way. No way. He's 7'2". There's no way. The man came back and literally on one leg was dropping 30. Now, yes, his defense regressed a lot. I mean, there's times where he just didn't even contest. I mean, I was like, damn, you got to at least put a hand up, right? But that's because he was hurt. He had no mobility. But still, for him to drop those MVP, he had 50 on us in the playoffs. Towns had 2 good legs. I know he's coming off the injury, but and couldn't do nothing. I mean, he had a decent round. The first round, they played in the first round? Against the Suns, but that was, come on, they beat the Suns. They killed the Suns. The Suns, Kevin Durant, another guy that don't really play defense on the perimeter like that, because you know that's where Towns is, on the perimeter. So all I'm saying is, this is the grander point. The grander point is Julius Randle is the guy unless you get somebody on the first or second team. Embiid is on the first or second team. He would have been MVP if he didn't get hurt. Embiid showed you that if he's hurt, he's still going to go. He's going to go until he can't run no more. And he might play in the Olympics. Unless you guys seen something saying he's not going to play. I think he's going to play in the Olympics, right? That's the type of guy that we need on the team. Now, yes, he is injury prone, but I think that he is more of what we need because, all right, so Embiid also takes it inside. He's like Jokic. They have a great balance. Like, they don't just stay on the perimeter. And he kills you from mid-range. How many times did Embiid get the ball from the nail, coach, turn, do one of these slow, catch it from here, turn like this, fake little first step? How many times did he do that? And he's 7'2", and you can't block it. That's what we need. Now imagine that pick and roll with him and Brunson. You talk about Mitchell Robinson. Oh man, Embiid in the pick and pop scenario. Basically, that'll be Jokic in a way better Murray. Because Murray, to me, even though he's a talented player, I think Brunson has shown you he's more durable for the entire year. Murray is not a regular season guy. Brunson does it all year, and you can't stop him. He's a team by himself. Did you see what Indiana did to Brunson? And he still would get off. Brunson had trouble because of the injury. Injuries killed us, man. Injuries killed us. Remember, he sprained his ankle too. Let's see. Salute T Money in the building. Let's see. I look like you dropping some facts. Never a Randall fan, but when he plays like you just said, he's kind of perfect for this team. Yo, T Money, that's what he's going to do. T Money, when Randall comes back this season, he's going to get back to that. He's taking you to the basket. His shoulder is fine. Now he got a rehab. He had the successful surgery. Salute to Sam. Sam put the doctor in the chat. His name is Brian Strutterer. Go check his channel out. He breaks down the whole technical. I'm not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I just do a lot of reading and research. I'm into health. But there's a part in your shoulder that he had to repair. His shoulder is fine. Everything is intact. Is this that part that helps support your shoulder? That's what he got the surgery on. So he's going to be fine, T-Money. Trust me, he's going to get back to the bully ball. But Brunson wants to be in the paint. They both could be in the paint. So when Brunson goes in the paint, then Randall could be outside too. Randall don't got to hog up the paint. He can spot up, hit the three, shoot. He can even get a corner three, even though you don't see Randall in the corner like that. Let's see. Towns was doing his thing before the last round. To be honest, Coach, and I talked about this, it was really just the Sun series. If you look at the player box rec, I'm not gonna pull it up now, but I think we honestly did it last week too. But remember, it was the first round. Remember, he was only averaging 18 points, Coach. Before the last two games, where Towns, kind of woke up, he was only averaging 18 points. It was the first round against the Suns where he did most of his work. T Money, Embiid, and Cavs, no comparison. Salute to T Money, man. I like T Money. T Money talking that talk in the chat. It's not about first and second team. It's about fit. Mikal Bridges will be ideal. Yes, T Money. If we could get the Nets to trade with us, T Money, yeah, I would go after Mikal Bridges. It's just a matter of the Nets wanting to deal with us. We haven't traded with them since the 80s. And it's not because he's just not. He's a vanilla. Yeah, he fits. Yeah, you know what, T? I'm with you. So, T, how we got on this topic, right, T? Because I'm not sure if when you came in, right? Because on this podcast, we actually used to go in research mode so we can actually look at the news together, right? So, theheavy.com is talking about trading Randalls for Towns, right? So that's how we got here. I'm not someone who thinks that we should make any major trades. I think we should run it back and maybe add another player like a Kelly Oubre or somebody in free agency, or maybe make a trade like Bojan or something like that to get somebody younger, right? Whether it's an Isaac Okoro or Jonathan Isaac, not Okoro, Jonathan Isaacs, right, from the Magic, somebody like that. Make a move like that to get somebody else in, but nothing major, right? Now, I say bring everyone back. Maybe you might lose Precious or something like that, but that's just where I'm at. Trade the picks too. You got 2 first-round picks. Maybe you could get somebody like, I don't know, somebody talented, right? And Leon Rose, we trust. So I'm not on the bandwagon of even trading anybody for anybody major anyway, right? I'm just saying that if you are going to trade Randall, you should trade him for a first or second teamer that fits. Joel Embiid will fit, right? So he's a first and second teamer. All the other first and second teamers, you're not going to be able to get them anyway because they're not up for trade. They're not going anywhere. Like good luck. You going to get Jason Tatum, you're going to get Shai, you're going to get Luka, you're going to get Jokic? No. The only one you might get is Embiid if Philly doesn't really do what he likes. He could ask for a trade at any point, right? Giannis maybe, but Giannis honestly is running the show there. He's hiring coaches, firing coaches. Chris Middleton wants out. So, the odds of you getting someone is very slim, T. So I'm not on that train either. I'm for the fit. I'm with you. I'll go get Mikal Bridges. I'll go get him. Hell, I get Miles Bridges too. Miles Bridges he's all right. He had the off the court stuff, and we don't support any domestic situations, right? But the league, he was suspended. He did his time. America's the land of second chances. Just because someone did something in the past, when they have been rehabilitated or they did their punishment and they came back and now they want to be productive, members of society, go get Miles Bridges too. Hey, and Miles Bridges is a problem. He's a serious problem. I like Kelly Oubre. I like the kid Isaacs from the Magic. I like these guys. Let's see. Make the Nets an offer they can't refuse. Yeah, Team Money. Yep, running back with the minor tweak. Yep, Ubi would be cool. Yeah, Embiid, he fits. But okay. So you read about Embiid with the injuries, right? Now, I know you're not on the Towns train because I already saw you said that Embiid is not, in Towns there's no comparison. It's definitely not. Salute to Coach. But I see what Coach was trying to say. Coach was trying to say they both are hurt. But at the end of the day, Joel Embiid is coming back from meniscus surgery and going to drop 50 in a playoff game. I'm taking that any day. Okay? Right? So, yeah. Embiid is probably the only one that may be available that I would go after. Because right now, Giannis to me is a little questionable. He's a little questionable because you got 3 coaches fired, bro, in a span of 1.5 years. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't understand that. I'm trying to think who else is there. No one. Now, if Boston loses, like they get swept or something like that in the finals, maybe they might move off of Tatum or Brown. I mean, $300-something million. You paying 2 guys that? Maybe, I don't know. Team Money's hilarious. Yeah, he said, hell, we gave Trump another chance, so why not Bridges? Facts. I'm with you on that. Hey, he served his time. He got whatever thing. So we talked about Randall. I don't care. All right, we'll touch on this a little bit. Lotus Celtics are the next big hurdle for the Knicks. And I'm honestly going to write a poll on this. How concerned are you guys about the Celtics? Do you feel like they're going to be our 20s version of the Bulls? Will they be that hurdle that we will have to climb, that Michael Jordan level hurdle that we never get by? I'm going to tell you off the rip, I don't feel that way. I feel as though we have so many things in our bag that we can go to in terms of moves. If the Celtics don't win this championship, they're probably going to run it back. But if they don't get anything to shore up whatever weakness they have, one of the weaknesses I feel like they have is they need a Derek Lively-like big. I know they love Al Horford, and I'm not saying they move off of him, but they need somebody that can actually defend and pick and roll. They need somebody who's going to be able to handle them pop-outs and really defend that pick and roll, because a healthy Knicks team, in my opinion, gives the Celtics the business. I said that coming into the season, and I feel that way now. I understand the pick and pop with KP is always a problem for us, but they are going to have to get a big. So if they don't do that and they continue to run it back and we get better and we add whatever pieces we add, I don't see them being like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm with you, T Money. Depends on what happens in the finals. They might make changes. The only problem is, and we went over T Money last week. We went over the salary cap. It's very limiting when your team has so much salary. They just re-signed Holiday for $120 million, I think, 4 years. So that's what? How many $30 million contracts? Remember, they also got to give Tatum his $350 million. That's a lot of money. They are well over the cap. There's nothing they can really do to improve their team. Their goal, I think, I'm not sure if I don't even need to look it up, to be honest. If White is a free agent, they're in trouble. Because if they don't have the money to sign him, or they don't really want to go any more over the luxury tax, they're going to be in trouble. So they need to win the championship now. That's why I don't think that long-term Celtics will be a challenge for us. Yeah, T. This is it. It's championship or bust. They got to at least get one championship. They can't go without. They can't do it. They can't go without it. Real quickly, I'm gonna start running through some of these topics fast. Johnny Bryant, he definitely has been interviewed by the Cavs. Of course, he was given permission. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we're gonna lose Johnny? Hopefully not. But we talked about this before. He's probably one of the guys that they are considering. But they also have Kenny Atkinson, who is a good coach. I like Kenny Atkinson. James Borrego, he's solid. These guys are also solid too. So there's no guarantee that Johnny is gone. But I like Johnny. I think Johnny does a good job with the guys. I love how he conducts himself during the interviews. Like sometimes when you listen to coaches talk, you could tell they don't want to do the interview, right? But he honestly does a great job of communicating in the interviews. And from what I hear, he does a really good job just with the players. Everybody loves Johnny. That's why he's getting all these job interviews, right? So hopefully we could get him back. How you guys feel about Precious? We might have talked about Precious last week. Should the Knicks re-sign Precious? Honestly, if the Knicks are going to go stay put and they could re-sign Hartenstein, there are a lot of bigs in college. And we're going to get to college in a second. I'm going to get there quickly. That we can honestly get to be a third string backup. And you also got Jericho Sims there. I doubt it. A lot of teams throw him a lot of money. Yes, Precious, held us down, especially for Randall. When Randall went down. But at the same time, I don't think that Precious will be a Knick. And I just feel like it's basically going to be because they're probably just going to go with Mitch and Hartenstein. This is all if they can convince Hartenstein to say. Now, if Hartenstein leaves, yeah, Precious comes back. Let's see, might lose Bryant, Tibbs replacement if he got fired. Okay. I didn't even think about it like that. Because I don't see Tibbs getting fired. I think Tibbs will get his 4-year extension, maybe 3-year. And he'll play until that. Now, after these 3-4 years are up, does he decide to step away from the team? I don't know. It depends on if we win a championship or not. But I don't see Coach Tibbs getting fired. I think that he gets another deal. And I think because we have Jalen Brunson, the Nova boys locked up for 4 years, I don't see the Knicks regressing. I just think that they have a winning mentality. And Tibbs does a great job of bringing that out of them. I just see that continuing. So, yeah, y'all can let me know about Precious in the chat. I'm going to start going. Same thing with Alec Burks. The whole Clutch Sports, let me see if they got it here. So, Alec Burks signed with Clutch Sports, so a lot of people felt like that's why he will go. But I think Alec Burks can come back, especially if he doesn't get a lot of offers. But he's going to be in the Evan Fournier-like role, right? So, Burks is kind of like a hit or miss. It don't matter whether we bring him back or not. Let's see. Oh, T Money says he thinks. Oh, he's on my Coach Tibbs. He must most def get a new deal soon. Yeah, I think so too. It's just a matter of, for me, will it be 3, 4, or 5 years? I'm under the impression, and T, I'm not sure if you heard this earlier, and I'll recap it right quick, and then I'm gonna jump into flagship because we're past the 50-minute mark. But I'm gonna jump into flagship very shortly. But I think that in order to sustain where we are, the one mistake we made in the 90s was not, or not one mistake, but the one thing that kind of I felt hurt us was not keeping Rowley, not giving him the extension. That Tibbs, this whole Tibbs situation to me is kind of similar to that. I'm not saying Tibbs is on Riley's level. Riley won 5 championships before he came to the Knicks, so don't get that twisted. What I am saying, though, that they were having great seasons under Riley. They made the playoffs every year under Riley, right? I think even one of those years, but they definitely made it to the finals for sure. And I think they was the number 1 seed, too. So they did all of that under Riley. And in order to keep that going, they didn't re-sign Riley. Of course, Van Gundy came, and we still were good. We made it back to the finals. But what would have got us over the hump would have been having that one guy consistently do an extension, go through the Knicks coaching history. We did that maybe 2 podcasts ago. You'll see a lot of these guys didn't last maybe 1 or 2 years. So this will be the first time you extend someone since, I don't even know, maybe Van Gundy. I think Van Gundy signed an extension too, because Van Gundy took over, 97, because Don Nelson was fired, and then Van Gundy replaced him. It was a lot of politics too with that. I don't even think Nelson probably even wanted Van Gundy to even be there on the staff. But one thing about the Knicks is that they try to hire within and keep guys around. So I remember when coaches would get fired and Herb Williams would be there, or it'll be somebody that you consistently see. So Jeff Van Gundy was one of those guys. Anyway, point that I'm saying is I think Gundy probably was the last one to sign an extension, because from 97 to 2002, and then when he left in 2002, that was he resigned. He wasn't fired, and I think he might have still had more contract left. But you get what I'm trying to say, though, T. We need to continue having the consistency. That's really the point that I'm trying to say. All right, so let me see what you started saying in the chat. Precious, nice player. Wouldn't mind seeing him on the bench. Yeah, but here's the problem, T. You could see a team like the Clippers. Well, maybe not the Clippers, because they don't really have much to spend. Maybe like the I'm gonna say the Clippers just because I feel like they really need a 4. Clippers could get him, put him at the 4 spot. He's a 4.52, and give him the exception. If they offer him $10 million, which I think is the player exception, if the Knicks don't want to match that, he could be up out of there. So it's really demand. But I don't see Precious sitting on nobody's bench, to be real. I'm gonna skip the Josh Hart comments on Tatum. We could talk about these late first round picks. So if you guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, you probably do, you Knicks fans. We have 2 first round picks this year, right? We have the 24th pick and the 25th pick. What do you guys think we should do with those picks? Because you already know Knicks have a tendency of trading picks. This is not the strongest draft, but I will say there are a lot of big guys in this draft. And I talked about this the last couple of weeks. The guy who I want is Kyle Filipowski out of Duke. Yeah, I'm a Duke fan, I know. A lot of you guys don't like Duke. But I'm telling you right now, this kid, Filipowski, would be nice coming off the bench. If you lose Precious, he could play the 4, a little bit of 5. He can shoot. Gives good effort on defense. Not a good perimeter defender at all, but definitely more than capable at 7 foot to play and give us things that we need. And he's a rookie, so you can sit him. But if you need him to play, I think he can contribute definitely on the offensive end for sure. Right? And he's a big body. But what do you guys think we should do with these picks? Let me look in the comments to see where we guys at. Knicks ran out of steam. What's good, family? Salute to you. Definitely. Good seeing you in the chat. T Money. All right. For over 40 years, you know all about the drama. Okay. Oh, all right. Salute to you, T. What did you do in the Garden? If you don't mind me asking. I'm curious to know. Oh yeah, you won't pay. Yeah, you can't overpay for Precious. No, I'm just saying like it might be a situation, T, where a team comes and give them $12 million, and you're like, damn, do I really want to take on that $12 million? Especially when I could go get a young guy for half that price, or for because I already remember we got 2 draft picks, so you could just go in the draft and get somebody. Even if you wind up getting a Edie type dude, I'm not saying you're gonna get Zach Edey, but like you could get a big guy. Knicks ran out of steam. You wouldn't trade these picks this year. So Knicks out of steam. Who ran out of steam? Who would you trade for? I mean, who would you draft? I'm curious because all I know right now is a kid, Kyle Filipowski. I have some more other guys. I have an article talking about it, but damn. I'm sorry, yo T. I'm sorry, man. Look, T. I ride with every other New York team. There's only 2 New York teams I don't rock with. That's Buffalo. No, 3. Buffalo, the Nets, the Mets. Everything for me is New York. But T, could you give me some grace? Could you give me some grace, T? So T, the reason why I'm a Duke fan is because I'm a Knicks fan. And Sam and Coach probably heard me say this story before. So coming up in the 90s, I hated Michael Jordan. Like a lot of you probably do too. We all respect him and appreciate him and acknowledge him as the GOAT, hopefully. I'm not getting into no Jordan GOAT topics right now. But even though Jordan was as great as he is, I couldn't stand him. To the point where when I became an adult, I didn't own no Jordan sneakers. I don't own no Jordan sneakers. To this day, I just can't do it, right? So Jordan was terrorizing us the whole 90s, right? So me being a young guy, knowing that my Knicks can't get it done, I look for players that I felt like could be better than Jordan. Duke had a couple of guys, and there's one in particular, his name is Grant Hill. And I always thought that Grant Hill would be better than Jordan. So because Grant Hill went to Duke, I became a Duke fan. Because I wanted Grant Hill to come to the NBA and be better than Jordan. Of course, that never happened, but that's why I got into Duke. So it really goes back to the Knicks and Michael Jordan. See, hopefully that makes you feel better, man. I had to go all the way to Duke to try to find a guy for Michael Jordan. Because when Grant Hill came out in the 90s, man, he was giving dudes that work. He was like a LeBron, not as athletic as a LeBron, but a bigger guy that could handle the ball, 6'7", 6'8", can handle like that. You wasn't really seeing that like that. Let's see. Do Tiz want to coach a young player? No, Sam. He don't want to coach young players. The youngest player, the youngest player he wants to coach is Deuce McBride. That's it. But also, Deuce McBride been here for a little while, playing off the bench. So it wasn't like Deuce is, Deuce, he definitely went to the G League, all of that. No, Coach Tibbs don't want to coach younger guys. But think about it though, Sam. When you look at the finals right now, yes, Dallas and Boston have young players, but they are not young teams. They're not young teams. They're veteran teams. You got Kyrie Irving on that team, right? You got Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. They're young, but they've been in the league a while. They're not young whipperscrappers. Even Luka. Luka's what, 25, 26? So, yeah. Coach Tibbs don't want them super young dudes, but you get a Kyle Filipowski from Duke. If they can get him, trust me, y'all gonna love the kid. He can ball. I don't want to make this about Duke, but yo, that kid can ball. Okay, yo, salute to T Money. T Money, he's a former coach. He coached at the Knicks summer camp. Salute, T. That's what's up, man. Do you still coach, T? Just like, I'm not saying with the Knicks, but do you still like host camps and things like that? Definitely, we'll check you out, man. I would definitely like to check out some of your work. Oh, Ryan Dunn and DeRon Holmes? Okay. So Knicks ran out of steam. What position do they play? Are they wings? I never heard of them. I'll pull them up. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's pull them up. He says Ryan Dunn Let's see who that is. Let me see. Did I spell it right? Hold on. Ryan Dunn. I'm gonna put college. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Let's pull him up. Oh, okay, he's a 6'8" guard. Let's see. Okay, he's a 6'8" guard. He averaged wait, so hold on, he's a high school kid. Or is this just his high school stats? Oak Hill Academy. Virginia men. Oh no, he played college. Okay, yeah, I see him. Okay. What about this kid you like? Let's look at the numbers though. This is his sophomore year at Virginia. He averaged 8 a game. Rebounds. It looks like he's a hustler. Why they got him as a 2 guard? He looks more like a forward to me. 6'8", 208. All right. Let's pull up the other guy. So these are 2 prospects we're looking at, y'all, for the Knicks draft picks. Since we got the 24-25 pick. Hold on. Where's the other guy at? I got to scroll up. Let me see. All right, so De'Ron Holmes. Let's look him up. Are these guys, in your opinion... Oh, I ain't typing. Hold on. Are these guys, in your opinion, going to be steals? I'm curious to know if these... Okay, De'Ron Holmes. Okay. Let me go to Basketball Reference. All right. Bet. How? So let's pull him up. 6'10". Okay, 6'10" forward. That's good. Yeah, we need... Ooh, he averaged 20 a game. Okay. I like that. Shot 38% from downtown. 54% from the field. Okay. Hold on. Let's look at this. Okay, this kid. Okay. Hold on. He's a junior. 2 blocks a game. Let's see this. 6'10", 220. Hey, listen, I ain't watched this guy play. But I'm telling you right now, this kid look like he might be a problem. Are you guys familiar with this guy? This is somebody Knicks ran out of steam said that we should consider drafting. He looked like he's a hooper, man. He went to Dayton. He did 3 years. Season, not as young as me and Sam was just talking about, right? How old is he? He's what? Let's see if I get his age. He's probably like around 21. I'm not seeing his age. Let me see. Game overview. All right, I get it. Let's go to maybe he got it on ESPN. I just got his year. All right, hold on. Let's go to bio. This just got his year. So I'm assuming he's probably 21, 22. Or 2021, depending on when his birthday falls. Let's see what you guys talking about. Drafting Zach Edey. Zach Edey, hold on. Oh, wow. Hold on. I'm going to get to that. I just noticed that we had more. As a diehard Knicks fan who, like you, hated Jordan and refused to wear Jordans, you got to stay close to the... T-Money. There was no one close to the crib. Yo, T-Money, listen. And we're talking about why I'm a Duke fan, guys. Right? I just went through the whole diatribe. I wanted to find a player that was better than Jordan. Coming in, I needed someone younger than him, right? Because none of the dudes in the league was going to be Penny Hardaway, even though he was good. No, he was not on Jordan's level. No one in the league. Mitch Richmond, Jerry Stackhouse, none of these guys, none of them. So because I was into college basketball a little bit, everybody was telling me, yo, there's this kid, Grant Hill. Fire. Watched him. Waited for his game to come on TV. Game came on TV. I was like, yo, this kid is the next So ever since then, that's where I became a Duke fan. Hey, man, I'm a Knicks fan. It's because of Jordan, man. I had to find somebody, man. There was nobody next to the crib that could match Jordan. Definitely the Knicks wasn't doing it. I had to get somebody better than him, man. Tibbs has evolved his coaching so he would be more apt to play dudes he liked. Grimes. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the team now, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't even think Tibbs need any job as an executive because I feel like he and Leon Rose work like this. Because Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, who else they got? OG Anunoby, Precious Inouye. All these guys are Tom Thibodeau guys. They're all Coach Tibbs types of guys. So yeah, for sure. Lively should have been a Knick. Yes. We talked. Actually, Knicks ran out of steam. I'm not sure if you were subscribed to me last year, but on the podcast last year we talked about the Mavs tanking purposely, and then the league. Remember they got that no tanking rule, and the league didn't do nothing about it. T Money, you said I really like you, but Kyle, T Money, all right. So look, I'm not saying Kyle is going to start for the New York Knicks. What I'm saying is that, based on what I saw, he is someone that can stretch the floor. He can shoot the three ball. He knows how to use his body. He's not that good of a perimeter defender. He's not. But I think that his game, he will be a very solid player on the next level. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. I think that he could be one of these guys. I mean, all right, so look. Let's look at some of the guys we got in the league right now. You don't think that Kyle Flipkowski could be more serviceable than Doug McDermott? More serviceable than, trying to think of other guys that played forward position that ain't really like that. They might be really good at one thing, but they're not like that. I think Kyle Flipkowski, with the right system, he could really develop into a solid pro. And I think that his game is designed for the pro level. I wouldn't play him at the 5, though, but that's just me. I would play him at the 4 off the bench to get him acclimated. Yeah, I believe in the kid. I do believe in the kid. T-Money, I wore Starberries when we had Steph. Facts. I wore did I wear Starberries? I think I did own a pair of Starberries. I think I did. Because it's Brooklyn all day. You know, Kings County. You know, Brooklyn, we got to represent all day. So, yeah. When Steph came to the Knicks, man, honestly, at the time, I wasn't as objective as I am now. I really thought that we was going to do big things. I'm not saying, I ain't going to say I thought we won the championship. But I did think that Steph was going to bring us to, that next level. And it didn't really work out. But I really believed it at the time. You take Edie? Yeah, T-Money, I take Edie too. But Edie, and I'm pretty sure to the college guys, Edie has gone up in the rankings. Like before the Final Four and all of that, even when he was putting work in during the season, they had him projected at like 30. But after the combine and all that stuff, he moved up to a lottery pick. We actually covered it a week or two ago. We showed where the standings was. Edie was like number 15. We're not gonna be able to get Edie unless you trade up for him, and I don't think they're gonna trade up for Edie. I'm saying that Kyle Flipkowski is projected number 23. He's projected between 21 and 23. We have the 24th pick. So what I'm saying is we have the 24th and the 25th pick. Hey, if he's around that 20 mark, you might as well go get the kid. Because these other guys they're talking about, I don't know. Now, this kid right here, I got on the screen, does look like a good player, though. This kid was putting in work. I don't know much about dating flyers, but his numbers look good. Dunn measured 6'6" at the combine and can't shoot. Oh, yeah, so we got to get Dunn up out of here. With not a lot of upside, yeah, we got to get him out of here. I'm with you guys. If he can't do that, I believe we can get Dunn in the second round. Okay. They both are second rounders. This kid right here, Darren Holmes, is a second rounder. Okay. Get done with the 38th pick. All right. Bro, the Knicks drafted Ewing. About that time, bro, Georgetown would have been a better pick. No. So look, T, I started with the Knicks in the 90s, right? So that's when I started really watching basketball and getting into my groove. So Ewing was already in the league and we was already getting cooked, right? So of course I'm riding with the Knicks every year, but we were losing. So I said, I need somebody to really come for this guy. I was always a Knicks fan. I never was not a Knicks fan. But then you know how you're a team fan and then you're a player fan. So my player was, of course, Patrick Ewing was always my favorite player. But coming into the league for the new wave, I was going with Grant Hill. Because, and a lot of you guys know, especially you, T, and the guys that go way back, Grant Hill was that dude before he got hurt. Like, he was really like a 27, 8, and he was like a LeBron before LeBron, just without the super, muscles and super athleticism. Grant Hill had good athleticism. He didn't have LeBron level. LeBron is a freak. But he had more skills to me than LeBron, right? Take you off the dribble, create a shot. LeBron's developed his skills a lot later when he finally learned how to hit the mid-range, dribble pull-ups, step backs. LeBron didn't have that when he first came in. Grant Hill had all of that when he first came in. He was cooking dudes from the rip because he went to college, remember? LeBron came out of high school, two different monsters. Grant Hill was a dog, bro. He was a dog. That's the only reason why I am a Duke fan is because of Grant Hill. He was so much of a dog, he made me a Duke fan because I literally would wait for the Duke games to come on TV, to come on. I didn't have cable. Let's see. Money, Knicks aren't re-signing everyone either. Nope, that's a fact. You rather see Bojan back? Bojan is a trade bait right now. I don't know if they re-sign. So, all right, so if you give OG Anunoby $40 million and you give Hartenstein the max, whatever he could get, his $16 million, that's going to put you well over the cap. Do you then take Bojan's money too? I don't know if that's something. I don't know what their plan is. Because when you look at the Knicks, the way they've been managing the salary, they haven't been going over the cap. So you would have to go over the cap to keep Bojan. Now, Edie's in the lot. All right, so hold on. You know what, T? We're going to pull it up. Let's pull up a mock. Wait, hold on. I might have a mock draft. Hold on. All right, yeah, I got a mock draft. All right, so look. This is ESPN's mock draft. Look at where they got Edie. They got Edie at number 15. See that? Zach Edey at 15. I don't see the Knicks trading up to get Edey that high. But Edey was late, like how you said. He was late. And remember, this is like the fourth. We've been doing mock drafts every episode for the past 2 episodes. And for the 3rd consecutive week, Edey has been in the team up there. And I think I seen him at this Miami on another draft too, at number 15. So I don't see them trading. Oh, but this kid right here, another Duke guy. Let me tell you this kid right here is a problem. Jared McCain is a problem, bro. Like a serious. All right, so let me see if I give you a comparison for Jared McCain in the league. I'm not going to say Steph Curry, because Steph Curry is just amazing. I don't think you can match Steph Curry. I'm gonna say I don't know how prolific he is with the ball in his hand because they had Proctor and they had Roach, so he wasn't really doing much with the ball in his hands. But maybe he might be that prolific with the ball. But when it comes to shooting, even shooting off the dribble, this kid Jared McCain is a problem. Yeah, he belongs in the lottery. Well, is it the lottery? 16, yeah, 16 is the lottery. So, hold on. They must have did a trade to get that pick. Yeah, so 16 is the lottery. I think this kid is a problem, but yeah, let's look who. See, Kyle Filipowski, 22. See that? And then, I don't know who this kid is. I see him a couple of times. We talked about him last week, too. This kid right here. Y'all like this kid? Yves Misi? I don't know. This kid right here, I seen him on a couple of polls. He went to Baylor. He's a center, 7 foot. I do like the 7 feet. The rebounds and the blocks don't look that good to me. But was he a starter? I don't know. But this kid's name comes up a lot. This kid right here. Let's see. Kel Ware was a coach by Woodson, 7 foot stretch big, has a hook, and CAA. So this should, well, if that's the case, well, they probably gonna take that kid Ware. They probably gonna take him. But hold on, let me see. No, go backwards. You said the kid name is Ware. Let me see where he falls at. Where? I don't see a Ware just yet. Devin Carter. Some of these names I've seen, but a lot of them I don't know. Oh yeah, this kid is talented too. Isaiah Collier. I saw him. I saw USC a little bit. Oh yeah, Where? This kid right here, right? We actually could get him. I think we talked about this kid last week. Yeah, Khalil Ware. Sophomore. Out of Little Rock. Let's see. 9.9. I like the rebounds. I like the blocks. I like the rebounds and the blocks. I like that. Oh, and he's shooting threes? Hold up. He's shooting 42% from downtown? Wait a minute. Hold up. You serious? Let's see his recent games. Okay. Yo, this kid's shooting threes. Let me see if I can see all. 2 or 3 from downtown? Oh, okay. Oh, so he's not shooting a lot of threes, but okay. He had 28 in the Big Ten tournament, second round. 12 rebounds. We could get this kid. Yeah, this kid right here, we could get him. I just never heard of this kid. This Yves Misi. I never heard of him. But hey, they could get this kid. I like this kid. I like where, I mean, of course, you gotta watch the game. We don't just box score watch. But I mean, I'm looking at his game logs. Like he's at least taking at least 1 or 2 threes a game. And he's shooting 42% clip. That's solid. He was giving you about 10 rebounds and 2 blocks. That's a win for me. Let's see what we talking about in the chat. Yeah, Coach, that might be a good pickup, Coach. Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway would have been Hall of Famers if healthy. Facts. Salute to that. I would have loved to see them healthy for their careers. Where is a better pick than Edie or Kyle? Hey, if we get him at 24, and the Knicks are not looking to make the trade, why not? Grant Hill and Allen Houston was nasty for sure. Yo, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When this kid, Grant Hill, came into the league, bro, he was like a walking cheat code. Because he had all the modern day dribble moves. Like he had all the cross backs, double cross, in between the legs into the cross. He was doing all of that, like, I'm not going to say street ball, but he was definitely dangerous with his ball handling. He had really good ball handling. And guys that was 6'8", 6'7", that had to guard him struggled with him. Yeah, Grant Hill was that dude, man. I don't know, man. Yo, Edie, for some reason, he crept up. You said Carrington from Pitt? Let me see Carrington from Pitt. Now I got to jump in the flash ship right quick. I'm going to get the flash ship next. And word on the street, then we out of here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we just passed him. This kid right here, Carl Carrington. Let's pull up his stats. Let's see what he's working with. Pittsburgh Panthers. Okay, I didn't see this kid play. 6'5". I like the height. I like the size. 6'5", 190. Okay, got to get his 3-point percentage up. Got to get his shooting percentages up. He's giving you 5 rebounds, 13 points. Okay. What about this kid you like? Carlton Carrington. Let's see. He played in the ACC tournament. They lost to North Carolina. I seen Pittsburgh play though. I seen Pittsburgh play because they played Duke. I just don't remember the kid. I definitely seen him play. Yeah, and I saw this game here. I saw both the games. I saw this one on the 9th and I saw this on the 20th. Okay. I'm curious to know what about this kid stands out to you. Oh, you're right. Lotteries 1 through 14. I'm tripping. My fault. So Edie's not a lottery pick. You're right. Oh, salute T. Yeah, man. Yo, T, I do this, man. You listen, yo. I talk this Knicks stuff in my sleep. Then I talk NBA stuff too in my sleep every day. I do this, man. Yeah, yo, T Money. If I don't, I don't know, guys. I don't watch college basketball like that. I watch I watch the tournament. I watch like the conference tournaments. I watch some big games. I don't watch college basketball like that, bro. Yeah, I don't. Trust me. You ain't gonna get no fakeness over here. Now, when it comes to this Nick talk and this NBA talk, yeah, that's my lane for sure. But when it comes to college and international, nah, bro, that's not my lane. So that's why we could go into research mode so we can look it up together. But hold on, you say he scored a perfect 100 in the combine? Really? Kel Weir scored 100 in the combine? Holy cow. Zach Edey too slow? You know what? All right, so Zach Edey is slow. But Jokic and Embiid are not slow. I'm not saying they're as slow as Zach Edey, but I think that you could slow the game down for him. Mind you, I'm not saying none of these guys are going to be superstars. Right? I'm saying serviceable. Now, I'm not saying Kyle Flipkowski is going to be an all-star. I'm saying that, 6th man or 7th man, somebody you bring in the game, gives you good man. I'm not saying these guys are going to be I don't really see no superstars in this draft. I don't know. I could be wrong. But based on what I'm seeing, half these dudes I don't even know. I mean, this kid, I seen him play, but he didn't stand out to me. I saw when they played Duke. And it just didn't really, it wasn't really memorable to me, No offense. He could be a good player, but I'm just saying, and when I look at this draft, it's not like last year, it's not like the year before last year, where you see Paolo, you see Chad, right? Last year was Wemby, right? This year, I don't know who. They talking about this kid, Sar. I never even heard of him before, At least Wemby, I heard of him before, right? Okay, Zach Edey too slow. His all-around game solid. He's gonna get better. He can go out 1 through 3. Yeah, but Team Money, that's not a first pick to me, yo. If he can't shoot in the NBA, you're going to be you got to shoot. You don't have guys when you look at the rotations right now, everybody has to shoot. That's not a center. Only centers are not allowed to shoot. Yeah, team. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, man. Yeah, I'm not. Yo, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Kyle is a starter. I don't know if he's going to be a starter. He could be, but I don't think he's going to be an all-star. Like I said, none of these guys to me look like all-stars. They look like all good players. So that's why I still would go in the draft. But my favorite right now, based off everybody y'all said, is this kid right here. This weird kid. And coach says he got 100 in the combine. This kid right here? Yeah. I like this kid. He looks like he's a problem. Hey, This might be the steal of the draft right here. And we're going to refer back to this podcast, and we're going to see Khalil Ware. So let me get the flagship, and so we can wrap up. I know we well over time, but that's fine. I love talking this Knick talk. I do want to highlight this for a second. Jalen Brunson, right? He talked about the narrative that the Knicks lost to the Pacers due to injuries, and he says it pissed him off. And so he says the one thing I hated the most is even though like we were playing well, we were winning, we were up 2-0, then 3-2 whenever we lost. Everyone was like, oh, it's their tired or their injuries. Now, the tired part I disagree with. They try to say Coach Tibbs burned them out, and no, it's not tired. Or their injuries. Yes, I'm saying injuries, but Brunson's saying no. There's no excuse. Right? That's what he said on the podcast. He said it pissed him off. Because, I mean, yeah, we don't have our full team. But, like, I don't want the narrative being, oh, they're hurt, so let's give them a pass. Like, no, we had chances to win the series, and we didn't. We had chances to go up 3-0, and we didn't. Facts. I just hated the fact that people sometimes give us the fact that we were injured or injuries happen. Like, yeah, they're part of the game, but that's not the reason why we lost. We had chances to win. We're winning with those injuries. I hate the narrative. I hate the narrative. First off, salute to Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. They got an amazing podcast. Brunson, I hear you. See, Brunson is a player, and we talked about Brunson's winning attitude, his behavior, his drive. He's, all NBA talent, right? All NBA mindset. With no excuses, you lace him up. We all human at the end of the day. We all men, right? Who cares if your starters are down? As long as you got guys that lace them up, we're going to do what we got to do. While I hear all of that, I talked about the record with OG. Forget everyone else. All right, so forget Mitch and forget Bojan. I'm giving you that. Those two guys, they get hurt in the playoffs. We don't have them. I'm not even going to do a what if with those guys. I'm going to stick to OG Anunoby. We were 20-3 with him in the regular season. We were 6-3 with him in the playoffs. Clearly, when he's in the lineup, you win. We were 0-2 with OG Anunoby, even though he got hurt late in that game too. We still was doing what we had to do because he had like 20-something at halftime. Then he got hurt, and then Brunson came out and did what he did, and we wound up taking the 2-0 lead. Game 3, yes, we had the game. Nembhard makes some crazy shot. It's a fact. But it's also a fact that without OG Anunoby, the Pascal Siakam matchup becomes that much more difficult because no one was talking about Pascal Siakam in game 1 and 2, except the fact that, yeah, OG's giving him the business. If the Knicks had OG Anunoby, we win the series in 6 games. I know I said in a video that we still can win the series in 6 games because I had no faith in Nembhard and Nesmith. I knew TJ McConnell was going to give you the work. I knew Pascal would be tough without OG. I just felt like the rest of those guys wasn't really about that life. And they showed it in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? So not having OG Anunoby really hurt us because it only meant Pascal Siakam and more minutes for Hart. And then Hart hurt his abdominal area, right? And that was just a tough mountain to climb. So, yes, we understand that people wanted to put only when the Knicks lose, they say injuries. They don't give the Knicks no credit when they win with the injuries. I did peep that. Like when we beat Embiid in the first round and we didn't have Randall there, right? No one say, oh, yeah, they're winning without Randall, right? Second round, Mitch goes down. Bojan goes down, right? Then OG goes down. We wind up taking a 3-2 lead. No one says, damn, they're doing that without these guys. So in Jalen Brunson's head, he's saying, well, if you're not going to do it when we win, don't do it when we lose. Because then the minutes and the injuries, I'm with you, Jalen Brunson, but I'm not arguing from that angle. I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Brunson, All-NBA All-Star, the most economical right now before you sign for this big bag, because I don't see you re-signing at the end of this season or beginning of this season. I think that he's going to sign next year when he could go get that $257 million plus. What I'm saying is that the Knicks deserve the praise. You made it as far as you did. It's hard to not look at it from an injury standpoint when we've seen what we've done with just OG in the lineup and Bojan, right? We've seen the success. I'm not looking at it from that angle because I always said, yeah, we did win with the injuries. And no, excuses don't matter. At the end of the day, it's about results. But at the same time, it's hard for me, the same guy who always highlight injuries, and you could go back and look at my game posts when I wrote them. If I had the time, I would write a game post, and I would say, the hobble Knicks team managed to do this. Despite not having this, they managed to do that because it was a big, tall feat for them to get to where they are. And it's ironic, and I put this question up in the Discord. I say, hey, what's the one thing that the Knicks have in common with the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals? And of course, they had no wins. But it would be hard-pressed for us to not look at the injuries, the ones that have been consistent with it, not as someone that wants to limit it, limit the loss. A loss is a loss. We lost. There's no excuse. We lost. But at the same time, I can't say that injuries didn't have a role to do with it. What do you guys think? Let's see what they talking about in the chat. We all know it was the injuries, but Brunson going to use it as that's why I said. That's why I started this out with his. He has an All-NBA mindset. He's from the Mamba mentality, right? He's from that school of great players, and they have a way of seeing the world. I'm just a mere mortal compared to Jalen Brunson when it comes to this basketball stuff. But at the same time, I just think that from an outside perspective, being that I'm not on the team, and maybe Coach Tibbs, because Coach Tibbs always says next man up mentality. We don't care who's there. We're going to go hard. We're never giving up, right? Never surrendering. So that's the mentality, and I respect it. I'm just saying that I've been very consistent with my arguments, or my points, not arguments. And a healthy OG. I also even went this way. I said that, and I know Coach might disagree, but if we had Randall, right, and Randall was there, I think we probably would have swept the Pacers, take away everybody else, because Randall would really take advantage of the Siakam matchup. Put him in the basket, make him play defense. See, Siakam didn't have to play no defense the first 2 rounds. I mean, Bobby Portis put in work, but Bobby Portis wasn't really the focal point in the offense. He did have a couple of great games. Don't get it twisted. He had a couple of 20 balls, I remember, right? But at the same time, Bobby Portis, when Siakam was able to get the ball on the offensive end and they running him out the gym, it just was a different monster. When you go up against a guy that's averaging 25, 10, right, and 5, that's a whole different monster. I just think that if we had Julius Randle, we would even give the Celtics fits, because the only reason why the Celtics beat us the way they do is because of KP and our inability to guard him on the perimeter. You take away KP, Al Horford is a mere mortal. We could deal with that. The Pacers, to me, they were just taking up space in the Eastern Conference Finals. That should have been us. Facts, Knicks ran out of steam. Salute the Knicks ran out of steam. Yeah, we definitely would have won the victories in 5 games. But like I said, once again, I see where Jalen Brunson's coming from. And he's definitely right from his All-NBA mindset. But I'm just saying, like, from an outside, everyone looking at basketball, it's hard to say if you don't have Julius Randle and OG. It's hard to not say that without those guys, we wouldn't have won. Hell, if we would have had. So look, I'll give you Mitch and Bojan. If you have Randle and OG, I think we beat the Celtics. Without KP. I think we could beat the Celtics. I just think that is just, it's hard to argue otherwise. We saw when they went 15-2, 15-2 when they went on that win streak in January, when they had the big three, which would be Brunson, Randle, and OG. That is like a glimpse into the future of what the playoffs would be. That's why I'm saying bring everybody back. Sam says, if he admits they lost because of injuries, it's like saying players left aren't good enough. Yeah. But it sounds like he's trying to say we don't need you. Ooh, you think he's saying we don't need Julius Randle? Ooh, that's a poll. That might be a poll, man. So you're saying that Brunson might say, or might be saying, we don't need Julius Randle. That's tough. That's tough. It seems like they got good chemistry, man. I mean, Julius Randle was on the pod, right? I don't know. I don't really like. Once again, we're not in the locker rooms. And salute to New York media. They've been holding us down. I'm not gonna say always. They have been holding us down. You know, despite the other old media narratives that's out there, right? I haven't really seen any chemistry, anything, anywhere, in any article, right? Not no sources told me, you know, oh, they say this, right? Me personally, I haven't seen it. So I don't know. But what I will say is that they look like they're on the same page. I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I can't confirm nor deny. But another thing too, Sam, I wouldn't say Jalen Brunson is an indirect kind of guy. Like, he's very direct. When you watch the podcast, like, he even jokes with how direct he is. Like, I remember when he said he was telling a story about something with a player on the team, right? And he goes, yeah, this is player on the team. And he goes, yeah, OB Toppin. Just to show you that he's not doing no subliminal anything. He's going to be direct. And so, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think that's a Julius Randle sub. You know, especially when we know how hard Julius worked to try to come back. You know, it's not like he was just, he just went and got the surgery. He actually, because he literally could have went, saved the whole month, got the surgery, came back a month earlier, had more time to work on his game before training camp. Now you get a Julius Randle in shape for training camp. So, you know, it's not like the guy's not giving it his all. I know a lot of these guys, you know, Knicks fans, don't really rock with Randle, but I think Randle deserves praise because he's trying to put the team first. January 2024. Oh, you staring? Okay, salute to Sam, man. Yeah, okay, my fault, Sam. Salute to Sam. You just stirring the pot. I like that. You know, me and Sam, sometimes we go on a little bit of conspiracies. You know, we like to get, sometimes we do a little conspiracy. Okay. In terms of, yeah, I do see 2 losses, but I think maybe one of them might have sat out that game. I think they're 15-1 with the big three together. Because we lost to Orlando and Dallas. And I think Brunson played. I don't think Brunson played in that Dallas game. So, but yeah, I feel you, Sam. I feel you. So, I just wanted to address the flagship, so that way when I timestamp this, they won't be like, oh, he's doing a podcast and he's not talking about what he told us he's going to talk about. That's flagship. If you got any more questions about the excuses or anything, we could chat about that before we wrap up. But I'm going to jump into word on the street. We're going to do a couple of these polls. So being that it's off-season mode, I try to do a poll a day, Monday through Friday. I'm not doing no work on the weekends, guys. Yeah, it's just too much. But during the week, I'll do a poll Monday through Friday for sure. So I guess we could start. Yeah, let's start here. Being that we talked about Randall and Towns. So on yesterday's pod, we got into a big debate regarding the Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle, debacle or discussion rather. Which player do you think is better? Right. So we have 458 Knicks fans vote, and 84% of the fans say that Julius Randle is better than Karl Anthony Towns at 16%, which is a fact. Now, of course, a lot of this comes behind, to be fair, Karl Anthony Towns getting the business, right, in the conference finals. But at the same time, it's how Knicks fans feel. So a lot of Knicks fans prefer Randle over Towns, right? I'm not going to get to the comments, even though I could. But if you didn't get a chance to vote for these polls, you can. I don't set the polls to expire, so there's a lot of conversation going on in these polls. Definitely join the conversation. Also, join the Discord. Click that link so we can actually further the conversation outside of YouTube. So another poll I'm going to jump into. So his minutes initially in the postseason were limited. Alec Burks played well when he was given the opportunity. Has Burks played well enough to receive a contract extension from the Knicks? 318 votes. We actually talked about this earlier in the pod too. So we had 318 votes. 54% of Knicks fans say yes, Alec Burks deserves to get the extension. 35% say no. 11% say I don't know. I'm kind of leaning with the I don't know people on this one because I got to see how the team looks. I got to see what offers Alec Burks get. I don't think there's going to be a lot of offers because whatever you compare a guy his stature, you compare a younger guy half that. So because of the half that, two-way G League contracts, a lot of these guys coming up from the G League, a guy like Alec Burks is going to struggle. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to talk about Evan Fournier. But Evan Fournier, there's a EuroLeague team that want to sign him. He's talking about, no, he's an NBA player. Don't be surprised if Evan goes there because he turned down his $19 million, right? I believe it was $19 million. Either way, he turned down whatever the number was. It might have been a partial guarantee too. So either way, he turned down that contract, hoping to go into free agency. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Evan Fournier is not getting $19 million. Alec Burks, I think he was making, 12 or something like that, or 8 or 9. I don't know what the money's going to be. I know that there's a lot of younger players, especially G League players, two-way players, that make way less. So if Burks, he's willing to sign for the low, why not get him back? We talked about Precious a two-way as well. I did a poll for him. A lot of trade talks, but no talks about Precious. We did talk about him a little bit on the podcast. Would you reconsider re-signing him as a priority? Now, excuse the misspelling. I know I'm supposed to put a hyphen there. My bad. I wrote this at 3 a.m. I'm a vampire. So it's re-signing, not resigning, right? Do you see it as a priority this offseason? Right? 71% say yes, we should re-sign him. 18% say trade him. 10% let him go. Now, this trade option is kind of interesting, right? If you trade him, I honestly think that if there's a team that wants to sign him, instead of playing the match game, maybe we say, look, because it could be a team that wants to give him a contract number that, they don't have the salary for. So we could work with them and say, look, we got exceptions, right? So we're going to use some of this section money. Just give us a first pick, give us a second pick, and hey, let's make the deal 2 second-round picks. I don't know. But they could honestly use Precious as trade bait too in signing trade deals. So it'll be interesting to see what he'll do. And then, of course, Flagship. I dropped this post today. Hold on, let me see. I could refresh it. I know we got way more votes than that. Last time I saw it was like at 150. Okay, so we got 174 votes, right? Jalen Brunson stated that injuries were not a valid excuse for the loss. Basically, the Flagship topic. Do you agree? So we got 174 votes this morning. We got 82% of the people say no, injuries were a factor. I'm with these people. Injuries definitely were a factor. 17% say yes, they agreed we should have won. Okay, I respect that. 2% say they don't know. So that's all for this Word on the Street. Be sure to join the conversation. You could go to the community section. Each and every day, I drop a poll, Monday through Fridays. Weekends, I'm off. Sorry, guys. But Monday through Friday, I drop a poll. And then also join the Discord, which is the link is in the chat. See, I can't put it on there. I got to figure out how to put this stuff on the screen. I'm on StreamYard. I know you could do it. I know I'm not StreamYard. I'm not on StreamYard. I know on StreamYard you could do it, but I'm on Streamlabs, and I know you could do it on Streamlabs too. I just got to figure it out. So definitely join the Discord. Let's see what you guys talking about. Sam, I enjoy those polls. Yeah, salute. Yo, Sam. Sometimes I do polls based off of, just what's happening now. That's what I did last week. But then sometimes I do polls because, I be just having some bugged out questions in my mind. So I said, you know what? Let me share this with the community. So, you never know what I'm going to ask you. Sometimes I ask, really thought-provoking questions. Sometimes I just deal with the current stuff. Either way, you're going to get good polls. Join the conversation for sure. Let's see. Is Randall worth $40 million a year? Is Randall worth... That's actually a good poll. See, that's another thing I come up with polls too, Sam. You guys comment. Is Randall worth $40 million? I'm writing that down. That'll be tomorrow's poll. Good question. Knicks ran out of steam. So look, we're talking about OG Anunoby, right? Who, by the way, has no All-Stars. He has no All-Stars. Was All-NBA defensive team 1 year, right? 2 years ago. He wants that same contract. If they give OG Anunoby anywhere near $40 million a year, and Julius Randle's telling you, I want $40 million a year, you better give Julius Randle $40 million a year. I would say, yeah, he's worth it. That's a good poll question, though. Look out for that poll tomorrow. I'm going to write that up today and schedule it for tomorrow. Brunson didn't play in the Orlando game on MLK. Right, exactly. Thank you, Knicks ran out of steam. Thank you for that. See? Salute to the Knicks community. We hold each other down. And I took good notes. It's here in my notes, too. So I track all the games, and I got little notations next to it. I got scribble scrabble, so I got color codes, right? So there's certain things that's why I'm able to pull up certain stats, especially when I do the live play-by-plays, because there's certain things I track throughout the years. Like I track wins against good teams, wins against bad teams, right? I track blowouts, right? I track matchups records, right? I keep record of who's out the game, who's in the game. So that's how that's why I knew in January, I knew that the big three did not play one game. One of those losses, one of the big three wasn't there because I have it in my notes. So, but salute the Knicks ran out of steam for that. Coach says only for the minimum he's watched. He's talking about Alec Burks. Hey, hold on. But how's Alec, Coach? Oh, hold on. You might not be talking about Alec. You might be also talking about Fournier. He could also be talking about Fournier. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he's talking about Fournier. T-Money says it's cool. Salute to you, T-Money. It's definitely cool. I don't think Fournier would do well in the big three. Wait, you talking about the big? No, not the big three. Coach, it's a French team, I think. Overseas want to sign him. A team. T-Money says, bro, I'm going to most definitely check you out again. I'll be checking out the landscape, trying to see if I want to do what you're doing. Hey, yo, listen, T. It's worth it. I'm doing the channel. Not really making no money from doing the channel. I do expect to start getting some monetization. But at the same time, I really do this because I love the Knicks. And I always talk about the Knicks. And I do a really good job talking about the Knicks. And I was a content creator before I was doing the Knicks channel. So for me, it only makes sense to do a Knicks channel, right? I talk Knicks all day, every day. I'm trying to build this Discord, right? So, I just want to have people to talk Knicks. I will be giving away hats too, guys. I didn't announce it this week because I didn't have it set up. But hopefully by the next pod, I'll have everything set up for the giveaway. But remember, the only way to get involved in the giveaway, you're going to have to be a channel sub and a Discord member. And you'll be entered into the contest. I will be giving away Knicks hats, things of that nature. It's just that I got so much going on, personal life, business, and stuff like that. And so I still try to work on this channel because honestly, I feel like the way I give out the commentary, salute to everybody else. They're doing a great job, but I have a very unique way of delivering my content. And I honestly see where the voids are in this lane. And I love talking this Knick talk. And I'm going to continue coming here every Monday around 2 o'clock. Sorry, Coach, I know I was a little late today. But sometimes I might do it earlier. Sometimes I might do it at 2. But you guys will get the notifications on the channel. So, by Monday afternoon, there will be a show. For sure. Around 2 o'clock. Guaranteed. Every Monday I'm here, and I've decided to do the podcast live. So, definitely. And then once the season starts, I will probably put the podcast on all platforms like I did. I did last season on all platforms. Fournier's washed. It's a joke. Yeah, Fournier. I think Fournier is definitely not going to get $19 million. I remind you of NGL, a much younger me. Okay, salute. I got to check you out, man. T Money. Right? Because T Money, you was the one that coached, right? Yeah, T Money's the coach. Yeah, set your stuff up, T Money. Set your stuff up, whatever you want to do. And if you want, you can email me, info@theobjectiveknicksfan. So if you want to discuss some things via email. I'm curious to see what you got, going. Because I'm thinking, because I have a son, right? I have 2 kids. I have a son that's 2. It's about to be 2, and I have a daughter who's 13. So, my son, when he gets older, I want to probably coach him. I think I want to coach him. You know how dads be coaching their sons, all the way up, like kind of like LeVar Ball, kind of like that, but like without all the antics, right? Even though the antics help get them where they are, but at the same time, I'm just more level-headed. I love ball. I love playing the game. I was playing the game. I try to play the game at least 2 or 3 times a week when I can. I was playing yesterday. Had my son at the park. He watched me play, watched me put in work, get these W's. So I'm thinking that I want to coach my son all the way up until I can. Once he starts getting bigger, of course, I would like him to go with more established coaches and things of that nature. So yeah, whatever T Money, I'm curious to see what you got. It's going to come down to OG. This is from Knicks Man Out of Steam. It's going to come down to OG or Randall. You know what? Knicks Man Out of Steam, you might be on the money with that. If you give OG $40 million this summer, I heart $18 to $20 million this summer. Well, it's not going to be $20 million. I'm gonna do a video explaining why. It has to do with birds' rights. The most you can give them is $17 million. I'm actually gonna record that video once I get off here with y'all, and I'll probably have that ready to go by Wednesday. But yeah, it's technical stuff with that. I heart $20 million. It's going to be like $17 million. But I'm still with you. What you're saying is correct. This summer, you're not going to be able to pay Randall and Jay Hart and Dante. So Knicks ran out of steam. You're right. Based on how the Knicks have been running the organization thus far under Leon Rose, they've been under the cap. The Knicks haven't been over the cap in a minute. Now, the thing that you have to realize is that this is Dolan's money. Dolan can spend the bag. We have spent the bag in the past. The question is this the team to win the championship? Or is this team willing to go over the second apron for this roster? I don't know. In Leon Rose, we trust. But they could keep both of them. They got the money is small potatoes. They got a lot of money, bro. I think that they don't want to spend the money on a team that's not going to compete for a championship. That's what the Celtics did or is doing currently, and we got to see if they win. The Celtics have to win the championship. If not this year, definitely by next year. So do you spend the multiple $40 million bags, then give Brunson next year his $257 million bag, right? And you just keep everyone, because you already got Deuce locked up for 3 years. once you do all of that, everyone will be locked up for at least 4 to 5 years or 3 to 4 or 5 years. The Knicks could do it. It's just a matter of, in Leon Rose we trust. We don't really know what the deal is with that. Oh no, coach. Yeah, I was late. Oh, okay, coach. Yeah. No, it's cool. I was late though. To all the people, but I'm realizing that there's a consistent viewership of this podcast each week that, whether it's live or the rebroadcast too. So I know a lot of people are expecting me around 2:00. But I guess I think a lot of you guys know I'm kind of like flexible with the Monday time. Sometimes I might start before 2. Sometimes I start after. Yeah, T Money, I got 2, man. I got 2. I definitely got 2, man. Yeah, I take care of. I'm a family man too, so between working, family, YouTube, then even little me time, it's a lot. It's a lot to balance, but we got to get the job done. We can't complain about stuff like that. We just got to take care of business. So, Coach, your son's 15. Salute to Coach. I figured that. I mean, your name is Coach. So salute to that, man. I'm glad to hear that, man. Your son, salute. All right. Ah, nice. Your son is okay. Cool, Coach. Son been playing high school varsity since April. Oh, okay. You got one of them ones. Ah, okay. So Coach, you must be out in Georgia now. Okay. Salute, man. Salute to your son, man. I'll be on the lookout for him. That's exactly what we need. This is from T Money, coaching for the love, not the fame or the potential to come up. Yeah. Of course, yeah. T. One of the things for me is that basketball for me is I just love the game, yo. I love watching the game. I love playing the game, but I love talking the game. That's why sometimes I do a lot of play-by-plays because one, I don't like watching national broadcast games. That's one. So I figured you guys probably would rather watch it with me. I'm going to go in. I do a lot of research. Everybody knows I have the keys to victory. I'm pulling out stats that I know ESPN is not pulling out, right? I'm going to give you the hometown, broadcast, that feel. I can't compete with Walt Clyde and Mike Breen. Those are the legends. So I will never do a live play-by-play for an MSG game. But when they come on, soon to be NBC, ABC, TNT might not be no more. ESPN, right? If they come on those networks, look for a live play-by-play by me. But definitely, I just love talking ball, man. I could do this for hours. Like literally, this stream is 2 hours. So yeah, we rocking right now. Even though we getting ready to shut it down. Team I coached at various levels, but I enjoy coaching and teaching at the younger levels. Yeah, I think the younger levels is a great place to start because these kids, when you when I go to, first of all, when you go to the parks now, you don't see kids like that. But when I do see kids at the park, I do try to give them pointers, like shoot like this, because a lot of these kids don't really have the real good guidance. And then to find a good coach, that's another challenge, right? A lot of these guys are just YouTube coaches. Got to be careful with that. So, that's why I want to coach my son until I could get him to a point where, boom, I take him to somebody, reputable, in the game. But I want to do it because I really know the game. I studied the game. I played the game. I didn't play in the league, but, I played in a couple of semi-pro leagues. I played against, former NBA players, former G League players, right? So I didn't play in the NBA. I'm not trying to act like I did, right? But I've been playing the game. I watched the game. I understand the game, and so, yeah, I just love it. Okay, Sam. How old is your boys? One thing I would say about with kids in sports, right? And my daughter kind of made me feel bad about it because my daughter is kind of like a girly girl. She was with the dollhouses and stuff like that. But she told me the other day, she said, I was playing basketball and it was fun. And for whatever reason, I never thought to play basketball with her. She would go watch me play, and that's one of my regrets. So now, this summer, I'm gonna try to spend some time with her, play some basketball, things of that nature. Just to show her the ropes. Not that she's gonna go pro or nothing like that, but it's just good exercise and good time to bond with the kids. Yeah, I'm in New York, man. I'm not in Kings County no more. I'm in Westchester County, but I'm in King County all the time. I spent the weekend at my parents' house. They also live in Brooklyn. But yeah, I'm in New York, man. I'm right here. When should they start playing? Listen, look, if you're not trying to have NBA goals, they can start playing whenever, man. And honestly, oh, you upstate? Yeah, I'm in upstate too, man. I'm not too far upstate. I'm in Westchester County. I'm not too far up though. I'm like maybe an hour away from the Garden. I'm like an hour away. maybe 50 minutes to an hour, depending on how you drive. So Sam says 7 and 5. Oh yeah, yo, Sam. 7 and 5 is a great age. But I say don't force basketball on the kids, right? I got my son, he's about to be 2 soon. And he's dunking the basketball, right? So but he's he doesn't really understand that. He's too young. So I'm just gonna make basketball fun for my son. As long as he finds it to be fun, I can show him some more stuff. Don't force it on them, because that can really backfire. But just make the game fun. Take them to the park, right? Just play fun games. They'll come to you because I have a nephew. My nephew is going to be 11 in December. He's all over the place. He plays in like 3 or 4 tournaments. He plays all the time. I try to work with him on his defensive game because that's my thing. I was always a well-rounded player. So my thing, what I tell young players is, if you want to be a pro, forget NBA. If you want to be a pro, play defense. If you can play defense, you can get a job. Yes, you work on your offensive game. Really prioritize defensive schemes, learning exactly where you need to be on the floor, developing your on-the-ball skills, because that's like a lost art in the NBA. You can see that most guys on the NBA team, on the NBA level, can't really guard on the ball, right? And of course, yes, the players are very talented. I mean, you can't guard a guy like Kyrie one-on-one. But there are things you can do mechanically in one-on-one defense on the perimeter to try to make these guys' life a living hell. So that's what I try to impart to my nephew, right? I got 2 nephews. My other nephew is a year older than my son. He's going to be 3 as well. So, we trying to raise these boys up, and they all into basketball, right? So we didn't force it on them because we love basketball. Naturally, the boys love basketball too, right? So, I just say make it fun. Watch the Knicks. I remember watching the Knicks games with my father. He loved the Knicks, so he passed that on to me. Then when I grabbed the mantle, now I'm passing it on to my kids. So that's what I always suggest. Just try to make the game fun. Okay, Knicks ran out of steam. Your sons played ball for 2 years, and they stopped because they became better at soccer. Oh yeah, T Money. I'm not. Yeah. Oh, you stay in Long Island, but I'm not too far from the Bronx. I'm like literally 15, 20 minutes away from the Bronx. Bronx is right there. Yeah. Oh, Sam, you for real upstate? Yeah. So you must be up there. Yeah, you up there. You definitely up there. But yeah. Till Knicks ran out of steam. They could also go back to basketball too. I'm not sure how young your kids is, because my nephew was into the soccer too, right? My nephew did not want to have nothing to do with basketball, bro. Nothing to do with me and his pops talking basketball, right? And my nephew would be like, "What's that you're talking about? Why y'all not talking about?" I can't remember whatever soccer star was big, right? Fast forward, all of a sudden, I didn't see him for a while, like a good 6 months passed. I didn't see him, right? I see him again. He tells me, "Oh yeah, I'm playing basketball now." I'm like, "Yo, you was a soccer star," so they could change their mind. That's why it's also good to not push nothing on them. Let them make their own decisions. Okay, so let's see. Try okay, yeah, and you could try okay, yeah, exactly. Only sport I don't like team money, it's football. I know you can't stop a kid from doing what he wants, but yeah, the football, I can't really do the football. But soccer, baseball, all that track and field, all of that other stuff is good. Lacrosse, hell, if your school has a lacrosse team, why not? 9-year-old twins, salute. So we all got kids around the same age, man. Salute to all you guys, man. Great to see some fathers out here doing their thing, man. That's what it's all about, man. We want to make sure our kids is doing the right thing, and sports is a great activity. No, I'm not saying force your kids to, become NBA players. Like it's very hard to make it to the NBA. I say if you really want to play basketball, right, NBA could be the end goal, but at the same time, understand that there's other careers in basketball that you can have. I do the commentating on YouTube, right? You can go to broadcast school and learn how to become a broadcaster, right? You could become a coach. You could go into training. You can go into becoming like into the medical side, right? There's a lot of different roles in sports, especially in basketball. I tell young kids all the time. I was playing. Matter of fact, yesterday when I was playing, I actually was playing in Brooklyn, right? How many of you guys are familiar with Marine Park? That's where I go to when I'm in Brooklyn. I go to Marine Park, right? So in Marine Park, it's really good competition there. So I'm playing against this kid. He plays for Kingsborough College, right? So, and we giving him the business. I ain't gonna lie. We gave him the business. my team is, when we go to the park, we put in work, right? But anyway, so I told him after the game, because he's like 6'4", and I was like, look, he told me his age and when he went to school. I was like, never stop hooping. There's a lot of opportunities in basketball. You probably, even if you don't make the NBA, there's a lot of opportunities in basketball. Hell, you could even do YouTube. I see a lot of these kids on YouTube, just playing basketball and content creation and doing great things. So, basketball is one of those careers where you have a lot of opportunities. But that's what I always teach the kids. And what I tell the parents is, don't force it on them. Don't force it on them. Because like my nephew, if you love ball, more than likely your kid's going to love ball too. Because he going to want to do what you do. My son already now follows me around. Everywhere I go. He's on my bumper. So it's only a matter of time for when Knicks season's around. He gonna want the Knicks. He already likes my hats too. I put my hats on him, and stuff like that. I can't really find a hat for his size, but the point is like just make it fun. So that's all. I guess this was a great pod, man. Another great pod. We started talking about life stuff, parenthood, right? And also sports is another thing too. Sports is good just for health reasons, just being active, being active, man. Just whatever you do, volleyball, I don't care what it is. Sports is good for activity, and our kids need to be more invested in sports from a lifestyle purposes because it benefits them from a multitude of angles. Health, social, all of that stuff, because you're going to make all types of friends. I met a lot of people, made a lot of friends playing sports, right? So, yeah, definitely. But that's all for this pod, man. Yo, round of applause to you guys once again. Definitely, I will be back next Monday. I'm going to record another video talking about Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm really breaking down his contract. The same way I kind of broke down Jalen Brunson's contract, I'm going to break down the particulars with Isaiah Hartenstein. And honestly, I think that there is a way to give him the bag and re-sign. I'm going to talk about that. But with that being said, have a great week. Have a great week, guys. Have a great day. Bye. Until next time, let's go Knicks.